Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting our front page review with The Nation. Major headline. Amupiton's nomination as INEC chairman gets support. Council of State endorses Tinubu speak. Name to be forwarded for Senate confirmation. In other news, deductions from collections by FIRS, custom orders terminated. All generated funds must go to FAC, says Edun. And diplomats, business icon, media mogul Kolade dies at 92. Work begins at Calabar end of the coastal highway as APC National Working Committee disqualifies Kayode Ojo from Ekiti primaries. And we also have another news, state pardon for Herbert Macaulay, Vasta, Ogoni leaders, Lawan, others. Federation account deduction for police raised to 1%. And social entrepreneur Oralusi opens bid for Osun APC governorship ticket. All right, what story are we starting with?
Major headline. So in line with section 154 sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, the President and the Council of State has approved the nomination of the Kogima Professor Joash Ojo Amukpito, SAN, as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Well, Professor Amukpito is a professor of law from the University of Jos, and the council, with their approval now, this nomination has been sent, of course, to the National Assembly for their own approval. If approved, this will be the third prof in succession to head the electoral body. And laudable things have been falling in about his personality. Of course, it has to be apolitical. That has been established according to, we are waiting, because we'll hear people coming out with their own site in case of anything. But
I was really hoping it would be the woman, though.
No, but you know, there's a tenure.
Yes.
And she retires in 2026.
Yeah.
2027.
Okay.
So it will be at the end of the day. So you have to bring someone in with a long tenure. The last chairman spent 10 years. And so we're hoping that, well, let's see what the Senate will do, and let's see whether there will be objections as to his being apolitical, but he's been lauded by a lot of people as being, somebody of exceptional character. So let's look forward to that, yeah.
Okay, so I have the story of the coastal highway. They said work begins on the Calabar axis. You know, they started the Lagos side, but now the Calabar axis have started. They say work has commenced on the Calabar axis of the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. They said there is ongoing construction activity stretching through the Awi forest in Akampa local government area of Cross River State. They said the site is located off the Calabar-Ikom Expressway near Odumpani Junction, bears twin signposts announcing the project under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Works and executed by High Tech Construction Company Limited. They said large trees have been felled and mangrove vegetation cleared to make way for the new road corridor linking Cross River and Akwa Ibom. They also said that as we are approaching, you see many heavy-duty machines, including excavators, bulldozers, and swan buggies, are at work across the site, filling the air with constant hum of engines and the rhythmic clatter of construction. That means you'll be hearing noise and all. And that they've also observed that the earthworks extend deep into the forest, where teams are clearing wider stretches to shape the highway alignments. So they're saying that the Commissioner for Works in Cross River, that's Ampo Pius, he told doubters that the project is ongoing, that there are so many people who are saying, no, the project is not going. So he's saying that the project is ongoing at point 001 in Cross River, and that the contractors are there, making sure that everything is going on smoothly. And they're also complying with the local content aspect of the project because our people are participating in the project. They're also their members and everybody all cooperating.
What story do you have, Amaka?
So I have the revenue generating agencies will no longer keep a part of the funds the federal government has said. The long-standing practice of cost of revenue collection deductions has ended. Everything now has to go directly into the federation account. So the move, according to the government, it is aimed at promoting fiscal transparency and ensuring that more funds are available for national and subnational government. So usually they make when they collect the money, they make certain deductions before paying it to your account, and then before it's now shared to the 3 tiers of government. But Mr. Wale Edun yesterday in Abuja during the launch of the National Development Update, has said that he explained that while Nigeria's gross revenue has continued to improve, a substantial portion of the proceeds has not been deducted as the cost of collection by agencies such as the Federal Inland Revenue, the Nigerian Customs Service, and the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. He said that these deductions, they've translated into tangible improvements in national development. He also said that this review, this is under our constitution, this is allowed. And the president has now said that, all the inflows must go directly to Federation account so that they can really know what's going on, because most times it looks as if the money that they're collecting is so huge, but at the end of the account is not, it doesn't translate to what they actually say. Yes.
It's a good thing. This government is doing a lot of reforms. Everything is getting reviewed. Moving on to the next paper, The Punch, major headline. It's the story of the day. Amupito faces tough test as new INEC chair. Opposition warns against partisanship, demands urgent reforms. Tinubu APC defend appointments and urge fairness and credibility. The picture story, which is very in your face, is that the customer seized 1.9 billion naira hard drugs as well as expired flour at Seme borders. Police back down on tinted glass enforcement. Yay! Policeman forgets cap in Ogun student's car after extortion. That's drama. Tinubu Oshun mourn as Christopher Kolade dies. Federal government moves to audit varsities over TED fund grants. Tinubu clears 959 for national honors. I like national honor. National Assembly probe NNPCL over $18 billion refinery spending as Tinubu pardons Herbert Macaulay, Vasta, Farouk Olawan, as well as 172 others. So, who has the drug story? Who has the extortion story? Which one do you want to start with? The extortion.
Okay, let's do the extortion. So, a student, Olawole Ayomide, has accused officers attached to the Ibeba police station in the Ijebu-Ode area of Ogun State of extorting 99,000 naira from him. He said they started with 1 million. So they can't negotiate, can't reach 99,000 naira. But what had happened was that he was driving his mom's car, and the mom has already registered, done the application process for registration of the car and everything when they stopped him. And he explained to them that this is my mom's car, the registrations and process, please, can we call her and everything? They said, no, you can't call her. They got into his car, started this negotiation, and by the time he paid them the money, one of the police officers had forgotten his official cap.
So he has evidence.
Evidence full everywhere inside the car.
Let's try and take another story before we go on a break.
Don't forget the money, but
quickly, the federal government, the Ministry of Education, Minister for Education, while speaking with, having a meeting with heads of tertiary institutions in the country, has said that huge TED funds allocation remain unspent across the country. And it says that within 30 days, all tertiary institutions must now submit comprehensive reports of unutilized intervention funds given to those institutions. He feels saddened that large amounts is not utilized for the purposes that they were, and this is supposed to be spent across the country for universities, polytechnics, colleges of education, and we know how important the development of these institutions are. And so he says they have 30 days to come and give a comprehensive report of those funds. Also, procurement plans must now align with approved interventions, and he's also urging them to fast-track approval processes to avoid project delays.
I think it is a very, very good one, because universities always complain, and yet TED Fund has been established for a long time to serve as an intervention. So let's even see what TED Fund has achieved, and if there is, corruption has taken some part of it. But you have a story here in...
The Punch, yes, I have a story in The Punch. I have the story of the president. They said he mourned Christopher Kolade. They said the president on Thursday paid glowing tribute to the late Dr. Christopher Kolade. He described him as an icon of integrity, patriotism, and excellence. He said that the president called the 92-year-old diplomat, broadcaster, and corporate leader as one of Nigeria's intellectual treasures and a custodian of our enterprise history. And he said he was exceptionally brilliant, statesmanly, diligent, and had unimpeachable integrity. They said he was not only a boardroom icon, he served as a one-time chief executive and the chairman of Cadbury Nigeria PLC. He was also He was also an education officer, and also the Nigeria's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and the Director General of the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation. And he is saying that he lived not for wealth or fame, but for impact. His passing is agonizing, but worth celebrating. He said that he was a true Nigerian. You know, they were just saying a lot of things, but at the end of the day, he said that may God Almighty, whom himself faithfully grant him eternal rest. So may his soul rest in.
Our heart goes out to the entire Christopher Colladi family, but he's a man that lived well.
Yes.
Lived long, lived well, lived a life of impact. My prayer is that we have more people like him. We need more Christopher Colladis. We need them in thousands, and we'll see our country truly become better. I'll when we take a break now, when we return, I want to take the story about the seized drugs. We'll continue with front page review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We're still going on with the front page review. I had a story before we went on the break, and it was about the customs seizing 1.9 billion naira hard drugs and expired flour. My concern was actually more of the expired flour. This was at the Seme border. They said that they found expired flour coming from Egypt. So it meant there was an intentional importation of expired flour, that it had this flour had expired. About 10,000 bags with a duty payment of 1.2 billion was conveyed in 5 trucks. He stated that the products, of course, expired products poses a lot of harm to Nigerians, but that they were able to find it and that they are intensifying efforts. Let me quote the person. This is his maiden press release. His name is Wale Adenuga. He's the custom area commander, and he did this press conference, broke down how they were bringing in the drugs, what customs is doing to protect Nigerians. And I think that we, as ourselves, must be calling ourselves out. It's enough of us talking about the challenge of drugs and expired things, but more about talking about the prosecution of the owners, because it's not just the drivers. Who is the person that funded this and paid the custom duties to bring in expired flour into Nigeria? The person should be held accountable. Moving on to Daily Sun major headline. Forest guards storm bushes to push out bandits and kidnappers. NSA reveals federal government's action plan as Senate holds executive session. In other news, SANU, NASU protest against delay in implementation of the 2009 negotiations. They bemoan suffering of members. Presidency rejects Showore's plan for free Nnamdi Kanu protest as Tinubu Sanwo-Olu mourns Kolade. The World Bank verdict, ADC mocks Tinubu, says his economic policies have ruined lives.
Okay, should I go on?
Let me take the last headline. Tinubu pardons Vasta Lawan, grants clemency to 82 prisoners, grants national honors to Herbert Macaulay, 959 Nigerians, as well as Bill Gates. All right, we can now...
Okay, so the NSA, the National Security Advisor, was in a meeting, a 3-day security meeting with administrators from 36 states and the FCT, where he now, announced that the federal government will be unleashing forest guards to flush out bandits in all the forests within the country.
Good news.
He said that we're taking a fight to the criminals, to where the criminals hide. This meeting that was held at the National Counter-Terrorism Center under his office, and the PS of his office was, representing him. They're reacting to what we have been dealing with. He had announced earlier in the past about forest guards, and we've not seen the effect. I thought the meeting would have been a review of how effective
it's been. We complained about it, that we read headlines and then we don't come back to see. Yes.
Hopefully this will grow. Then the Senate, of course, held an executive session on strategies to addressing security. In that session, they addressed the U.S. Senator Ted Cruz's recent announcement that Nigeria was a country where religious tolerance was not permitted, that bandits and jihadists were targeting only Christians in terrorism. And of course, the Senate debated it. I wanted to quote Leon Dume on this, who, of course, had headed this Senate Committee on Security and Defense for a very long time. He says that to do this without facts He said you can only address Nigeria's security challenges from accurate facts and balanced perspectives. He says killing by criminal elements cannot be defined by religion alone in Nigeria, but by a complex mix of terrorism, criminality, and socio-economic factors affecting both Christians and Muslims. I'd also read David Udein on this and why the US is doing this right now. So we Nigerians can confirm that killings in Nigeria has been across religions.
Yes, it's not
across religions. When you now do this, is to give a narrative, and then you
can do what you want to do.
You distract from the crime itself, the seriousness of that crime itself. And I don't think a US senator that doesn't live here should just take facts from maybe newspapers.
You have no idea how this has spread.
Killing in Benue State, and it was largely Christian focused.
But it also happens everywhere else.
But killings in other areas of the country have also been focused on other people of no other religions. And when you say minority religion, that does not define Christianity in Nigeria. I think the US senator should either research or keep quiet and then,
coming out to say.
All right, other stories.
Yes, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has granted pardons and clemency to a wide range of Nigerians, including prominent historical figures and former legislators, while also reducing sentences of numerous inmates across the country. So they said when this started, the committee got a total number of 294 applications. But when they, for different things, but when reduced sentence, pardons, but when they did the interview, they had 160 males and 15 females. I'm happy about that. Major General, because women are reduced. Major General Mamanjia Vasta, who was executed in 1986 following a treason conviction, received a posthumous pardon. Vasta, who is remembered as a poet and military officer, was among 17 individuals granted pardons after the National Council of State endorsed the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy recommendations in a meeting which was held in Abuja. Also honored posthumously was Herbert Macaulay, alongside who is a Nigerian nationalist and a co-founder of National Council of Nigeria and Cameroons, alongside Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Yes.
My husband gave me history lesson yesterday. I'm a science student. I did not do history, so I didn't know all this Vasta.
But there was a criteria. Yes, but there was a criteria for this. They said criteria for recommendation was including old age 60 plus, terminal illness, youth 16 years below, long-term incarceration of 10 years plus.
That's with good conduct and
all right. Vocational rehabilitation.
To give a story in Son, we move on quickly to Vanguard. Major headline: accommodation crisis hits varsities. Students' parents wail. This is like a hot topic. It's something that is actually a hot topic, and Let's Talk rolled into one that we should discuss. But moving on to other stories: tinted glasses, why police halted permit enforcement. Tinubu mourns as ex-envoy for the UK, Christopher Collady, dies at 92. We've taken that story. Police arrest 12 suspects behind the death of Arise News anchor Som Tochukwu. We really want justice for her. And is there another story we haven't taken?
Yes, tinted glass.
Okay, so tinted permit. So yesterday, of course, the NBA president, Afa Mosigwe, and his delegation went to the office of the IG to visit him on this our matter. And the IG reassured him that they are going to be very of law-abiding citizens, respecting of the court order. So they're waiting for the motion on notice slated for October 16th until the entire conclusion of the matter in court. So
exactly,
we can relax.
So
if anybody stops you on the road right now for tinted glass, go and get the paper.
And show them. So I have the story. They said the police they've arrested 12 suspects. They said the Capital Territory, that's FCT, since this issue, Wiki has been on it, and he said they should make sure that they get them. And they said the armed robbers linked to the attack that led to the death of the Arise News staff member, that's Som Tochukwu Christella, and the security guard, that's Barnabas Alami, at Unique Apartment, Gishiri Village, Katampe District, Abuja, have all been arrested. They said those arrested include, their names, Shamsuddin Hassan, Abakar Al-Kamu, and, so many of them, the names are all there. But they said during interrogation, they said Shamsuddin Hassan confessed to shooting the security guard, that's Barnabas Lami, when he attempted to stop them from gaining entry into the compound. And then the other suspect said that Sani Suraju said that he tried to hold her from jumping, but that she was too heavy.
They have confessions.
Yes, they were confessed. They said he tried to help her from jumping from the story building, but that she was too heavy for him to stop. He couldn't carry her. Then the other one said that he admitted that he drove away with the victim's white Honda CRV after the operation. But at the end of this operation, guess how much they shared? They said they shared 200,000 each. That was what they got from that robbery. And then they recovered, you know, the police recovered AK-47, 36 rounds of live ammunition.
Our heart goes out to our family again, and even the family of the security man who also lost his life. But do you see this issue of accommodation crisis? We would like to have this because 105 students are battling over 13,000 bed spaces in UI, Unilag, and LASU. Students are complaining about the cost of transportation and how the commute is affecting their education. This is what ASU and NASU and SANU should go on strike for.
Exactly.
This is what NLC, Pengasin, should be going on strike for, because these are our future generation suffering. How can 105,000 students be struggling over 13,000 bed spaces? There's a crisis going on in our health sector, and that is affecting
information
everybody.
for investors to build hostels.
They want to partner with them.
Build hostels outside
They even
school.
complain that agents, that real estate agents are taking advantage of them and asking for more money.
But it's a NANS issue, this National Association of Nigerian Students. That is your issue.
NANS, this is what you should focus on. That's what we can take on the front page review for today. We'll take a break. When we return, a very, very hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.